But I was in high school, and in high school, I don't care near as much about it now, but in high school, like, I really was super concerned with being popular and well-liked.
I could see that.
And I think it was because, like, I just have, like, a little bit of an odd personality, and so I think that I was a little embarrassed of that and desperately, like, craved this acceptance that I didn't have. So I remember I would always try to, like, hang out with the cool kids, like, be cool, and I would, at the home games, there's a student section. And the closer you are to the front of the student section, that cooler you are. Well, I was at the very back. It is
a caste system. I do remember that.
Wait, where did you go to high school?
Edmond, Santa Fe.
Okay, got it.
You wouldn't have known I was at the top of the student section. But I remember I was a sophomore, and, you can't expect too much as a sophomore. But if the way I had seen it, freshmen are near the back. Once you're a sophomore, if you're moving down to those middle or even fronter rows, you're cool. Junior and senior, if you're a junior and on the front two rows, like, you're in. But if you're in your senior year, you're not in that front row, you're a loser. I did not want to be senior year non-front row. So I'm trying to, like, work my way up sooner rather than later. I had it all planned out.
Yeah.
So I'm a sophomore, and I was in a very high-level math class. I think I was in... it was either, like, calculus or whatever the highest math.
That's funny how that correlates. Like, the higher your math class, the higher you are in the bleachers.
Exactly. But I had a plan to combat this. I had some really dumb but really popular seniors in my math class, because I was only sophomore in there. So I was like, hey, I'm going to help you out with this math, because they were asking me for math help. And I said, well, how about I just get to stand with you in the student section instead of you paying me? And they were, like, down for this. And I was like, I'm getting the best deal ever. I'm going to be fucking cool. I'm going to be drowning in that senior pussy. Like, I'm going to get my first kiss.
Senior citizen pussy.
Yeah, first kiss? You had your first kiss?
I got my first kiss when I was 17.
Oh, I love that. That's really...
My mother
Virginity
finally
rocks.
kissed me. Virginity is the best. Like, I remember, I think, because I'm 26, I think 24, I saw my first titty. That was when I turned off the Google safe search. I was like, it's time. It's time.
Didn't need it anymore.
Take off the floaties.
Yeah,
it's time to go to the deep end, baby.
I was like, damn, that's what they look like? Shit. That's terrible.
It looks kind of like mine. Wait, what's the big deal about these things, huh? I'm behind the whole free nipple change. Like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, do it. But anyway, so I'm a sophomore. I'm in the top of the student. I'm using my math acumen to, like, work my way down. I'm working smarter, not harder. That's the thing. And the night of my chance has arrived. It is a home game. Student section is kicking, popping. I see these two seniors have been helping out with their math. I'm like, boys, remember our deal we cut? They look at me, they're like, fuck. Yeah, we remember. Like, okay, after halftime.
Time to collect, motherfuckers.
They told you after halftime?
Yeah, they were like, after halftime, when people start to leave because we're blowing the team out, you can come down. And I was like, fuck yeah, like, let's fucking go.
That is so mean. I'm sorry, Cody.
At the time, I thought it was great, but now I realize, like, I was just making a fool of myself. So at halftime, I'm like, I'm coming down. Like, what's up? I'll leave their names out of it, for privacy's sake. But I was like, what's up, boys? I'm coming down. And so, like, so I'm back there with, like, the losers.
I can just see that. I'm picturing it all in my head.
I turn to the people next to me and I'm like, Claudius, Demetrius, like, I'll see you guys at Anime Club next weekend. And I start making my way down the student section bleachers, and I hear it like, moving on up to the east side. I'm like passing everybody, like walking. They're like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm like, oh, what's up? Like, you'll never see me again. I'm moving on to the front because I knew if I got down there, I had rehearsed a couple of jokes.
You're never going back.
I'm never going. I'm going to be in. Like, they're going to see I'm great. I'm a great guy. And so I'm like halfway down. I'm like, hey, I'm coming. And they give me like that super welcoming look of, and I'm like, that must, they're seniors. They have a different way of communicating. That must mean they're really excited to see me. Let's go. So I'm like getting halfway down and I'm thinking to myself, like, I got to make sure, like, I make this walk correctly.
Damn, you're thinking of it all.
I got too cocky though.
Oh, okay.
Because as I was nearing the front,
step, like a little swag.
As I was nearing the front, I started giving it that little, like, left shoulder roll, right shoulder roll. What it was doing, it was making my center of gravity a little inconsistent. Getting it a little to the left, little to the right. Not a problem if your footing is secure. Well, that's where we ran into some problems. I'm getting down. I'm in the final. I'm in the home stretch. I'm 3 steps from the bottom, and I look up to see who I'm going to be down there with, and I see all the popular seniors. I'm like, oh my God. Like, and remember, like at 16, this was what mattered most to me.
Yeah, the Brad Pitts of high school, the
Brad
Angelinas, you know.
It's all that mattered.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Of course. It's
so
all that matters, right?
As I'm planting my left foot on the second to last stair, I've looked up. I'm looking at my future. I see like stars in my eyes. I can see them. I can see after we win this game, them thanking me for this victory, putting me on their shoulders, and, you know, me crowd surfing, even into the visitor student section. They're like, whoever the fuck this guy is, he's the man. We love him, you know. But I'm not looking at the footing anymore.
Yep.
And my left foot hits a little splotch of spilled Dr. Pepper. I haven't drank a Dr. Pepper since this day for this reason.
Not et tu, Brutus.
And my left foot slips out from under me. And at this time, I was also giving it that right shoulder roll because I was crip swag walking down the student section stairs. So I start to fall. I'm like, oh no, I've got to save this. I can't fall on the bleachers. And so for some reason, I thought like, if I can just get into the air, I can right myself. So with my right foot, I pushed off. Now I've just leaped into the air with no balance. So now, because I was like, everybody has turned to look at me. 5 seconds ago, my dream, now my nightmare. I'm in the air. I'm like, you know, half twisting. If I had ice skates on, it could have been a triple axel. Wasn't wearing them that day. I'm descending now, and I've realized, like, this isn't salvageable. And I'm like, ah! And all I remember is that I was horizontal. My right shoulder impacted first and impacted right on the last step, and my feet rolled over me, and I rolled onto the basketball court during play.
Wait, this was a basketball game?
This was at a basketball game, yeah. And I remember I was like on my back because I had landed. And
you should have taken the cash, man.
I should have just tutored him for money. And so I'm on my back, and like, you know when you get the wind knocked out of you, you're kind of like you can't really move. I got the wind knocked out of me, so I'm just like laying there,
looking like a cockroach on its back.
And like I hear the whistle blowing, and I'm like, oh no, like am I missing the game? Then I'm thinking to myself, oh no, like that's for me.
I am the game.
Like, I am the game. Like they had to stop the game, and because it was right after halftime, so everybody was pretty engaged in the game, and I'm like on my back, like, I'm like, oh fuck, and so like I get up and I look, and everybody's just laughing their ass off at me, and I'm like, well, you know what? At least they'll laugh with me because I can go stand in the front of the student section. I look at the two guys who I was tutoring, and they give me the subtle head shake. No, like, and one of them even does the little thumb like back up top. Big guy. Because
I don't need my math grade that bad.
Exactly. They were like, I don't need this shit.
I'll take the D.
Oh no.
And so, you know, I walk back up there to my friends, and they welcome me, you know, credit to them. They welcome me back with open arms, you know, and they likened it to Icarus. I flew too close to the sun. The wax in my wings melted. I ended up, you know, back down on the basketball court in front of all the people I looked up to so much. But it was a good learning experience for me because, you know, I learned that pursuing popularity wasn't fulfilling, and only did it for another like 14 months, you know. But then had learned some hard lessons. Had a first kiss and
Love that for
changed
you.
my life.